Long ago, in the coastal town of Patara, in what is now modern-day Turkey, a boy named Nicholas was born to wealthy parents. From an early age, Nicholas exhibited a profound sense of kindness and a deep faith that set him apart from others. Tragedy struck when his parents succumbed to a plague, leaving Nicholas an orphan. Rather than succumbing to despair, he saw his inheritance as a gift to be used for good. Thus began the legend of the man who would become Saint Nicholas. Nicholas chose the path of service, dedicating his life to the church. He became the Bishop of Myra, a port city bustling with merchants, sailors and pilgrims. His days were filled with prayer, sermons and acts of charity that would echo through the centuries. The poor revered him, the sick sought his blessings, and the troubled found solace in his words. But it was one dark winter's night that Nicholas's story would take a turn into the miraculous and the macabre. In a small snow-dusted village near Myra, a poor man struggled to provide for his 3 daughters. He had no money for dowries, and without them, his daughters faced a grim future. News of the family's plight reached Nicholas. Under the cover of darkness, he crept to the man's home and tossed a bag of gold through the window. By morning, the family discovered the treasure, and the eldest daughter was soon married. Nicholas repeated this act twice more, ensuring all 3 daughters' futures. When the grateful father discovered his benefactor, Nicholas simply smiled and said, "Thank God, not me." This act of secret generosity became one of his most famous deeds. But another story, shrouded in darkness, reveals the depth of his compassion and the power attributed to him. The tale begins in a famine-stricken town. Hunger drove people to desperate acts, but none more horrifying than the deeds of a local butcher. In his greed, the man lured 3 children into his shop, promising them food. Once inside, he murdered them, dismembered their bodies, and placed the remains in a barrel of salt, intending to sell them as cured meat. For days, the townspeople unknowingly passed by the gruesome crime scene. Nicholas arrived in the town shortly after, bringing food and hope. As he walked through the streets, he felt a pull toward the butcher's shop. Entering, he immediately sensed something was amiss. The air was heavy, the shadows darker. Nicholas fixed his piercing gaze on the butcher, who began to tremble. "Show me what you hide," Nicholas commanded. The butcher fell to his knees, confessing his sins. Nicholas approached the barrel and prayed fervently. The townspeople watched in awe as the salted remains began to reassemble. Flesh knit to bone, and life returned to the children. They opened their eyes and clung to Nicholas, who reassured them with a gentle smile. The butcher was handed over to the authorities, but Nicholas's act of resurrection spread like wildfire. Some saw it as divine justice, others whispered of the bishop's mysterious power. Either way, the miracle solidified Nicholas's reputation as a protector of the innocent. As decades passed, Nicholas continued his work. He calmed stormy seas for frightened sailors, ensured justice for the falsely accused, and distributed his wealth to those in need. When he passed away on December 6th, his tomb in Myra became a pilgrimage site, and his deeds turned into legends. Over centuries, his story evolved. The grim tales of resurrection and dark miracles softened, giving way to a gentler image. By the Middle Ages, he was celebrated as the patron saint of children and sailors. In Northern Europe, his feast day became a time for gift-giving, and the image of St. Nicholas merged with local traditions. In the 19th century, the Dutch Santa Claus transformed into the jolly figure we know today as Santa Claus. Yet beneath the red suit and the merry laugh lies the story of a man who faced the darkest corners of humanity with unwavering faith and boundless compassion. So the next time you see a twinkling Santa in a shopping mall or hear the rustle of presents under a tree, remember St. Nicholas, a man whose legacy began with secret gifts, unwavering faith, and the courage to confront even the grimmest of tales.